him last time. You put the bully on the back foot and he had no answer to it. The obvious question is, do you continue from where you left off last time in your trilogy fight?
Yeah. I've done nothing wrong. I just continue to do what I do, keep moving forward and putting the pressure on him, landing big punches. He's the one that's coming off a knockout loss and a one-sided fight, and he's the one who's got to tell himself all these reasons why he lost, and sack everybody in his team and blame everybody and point the finger. If you're an alcoholic or you're a drug addict or something like that, the only way you can actually move on from that is acceptance. You can't be in denial about it and say, I'm not an alcoholic, I'm not a drug addict. The first way of recovering and getting over something is accepting what's gone on. And the way he's been acting and conducting, he can't accept defeat.
Yeah.
Those are the words of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, as shouts out to Gareth A. Davis, rather. And he asked him, well, hey, you put him on the back foot, you roughed him up, you beat him up, you broke him, etc. And they asked him, well, what do you do now? Do you do anything different? Or do you continue doing the same, rather? And he's like, yeah. I continue doing the same thing. I did nothing wrong. So no, I won't change anything. Nothing will change on the assault of me attacking Deontay Wilder, because I found out how to beat him. And the way I found out how to beat him this time, because actually a lot of people, including myself, thinks that Deontay Wilder got outboxed the first fight. He got 2 knockdowns that made it interesting and more dramatic. But I think he lost nonetheless. And I think because Tyson Fury survived the 12th round, he won by default, because there wasn't enough rounds left for Deontay Wilder to either get another knockdown or, score more points or get other points developed to accumulated, rather, to win that fight. But the second fight, he didn't need that, because the fight was stopped because of the beating that he was giving Deontay. And he was hitting Deontay with punches that were from different angles. He was beating him to the punch. Deontay's wild legs were all over the place. Okay, he didn't have a good steady form of balance. He was getting beat up, roughed up, and we know. And that's how he's going to do it. He thinks that's the easiest way. He's not going to stop that. And then my counterpunch to Tyson Fury is, I will never say what Tyson Fury won't do. It's just the whole thing. Will that other person stop him from doing it? Because I used to think Tyson Fury was full of shit. He doesn't tell the truth and all this, that, and the other. And a lot of times he'll tell some tall tales here and there. But when it comes to fighting, you have to believe him now, because if he says what he's going to do and he does it, you have to believe him. See, the problem Deontay Wilder had, he didn't believe that. You heard Deontay Wilder say it. We don't believe him. He don't believe that. So Deontay didn't believe that. He didn't believe any of that. He didn't think that Tyson Fury was going to do what he did. That's why I think he was so shocked. That's why I think he can't accept defeat, because the thing that man said he was going to do, he wasn't supposed to do. Okay? And when Tyson Fury started backing him up, fainting him, beating him to the punch, then beating him up, getting off first, wrapping him up, putting that body weight on him, roughing him up, they break. He does the same thing and repeats the process. Wilder had no answer for it. Hey, I got my right hand. What if it lands? That's almost like somebody at the casino pulling the one-armed bandit, the slot machine, hoping, hey, I'm running out of money quick. My funds are depleting. But guess what? I got that one chance. So they keep pulling that lever. They keep pulling that arm, right? That's what Deontay Wilder was doing that night. Okay? And he threw that punch. But the more and more he threw it, the less and less it had, because Tyson Fury was countering that punch and giving him 2 to 3 to 4 punches, where he would throw 1 to maybe 2 at a time. That's if he threw one at all, because what happened, if Tyson Fury didn't have him tied up, he was beating him up. Okay, so My advice to Wilder, I think it's Wilder's job to stop Tyson Fury from doing exactly what he says he's going to do, because at the end of the day, don't say what he's not going to do. I don't think they're funny and laughing no more. See, everybody on his team was thinking, a feather puncher, pillow puncher, right? Pillows for fists. Those were his words. And they were laughing about it. They're not laughing anymore. So they have to stop Tyson Fury from doing exactly what he says he's going to do. And I have no doubt, once Tyson Fury starts hitting Wilder, Wilder will realize, hey, this guy can now hit. Put your fucking pride aside. Put your dukes up. Use the head movement that Malik Scott trained you. Don't forget about it all at one time. Don't make a mockery out of yourself. Don't let Tyson Fury be right. Because Tyson Fury is the type of guy that he says, you know what? I bet Deontay Wilder's going to do the same shit once I start hitting him. Because here's the scary part about that, okay? When you're in denial like Wilder and you are convinced with conviction that Tyson Fury cheated you, that's why the punches didn't feel the same. But then again, Wilder said he didn't feel the punches on any of the fights. So, I mean, you know, to be fair, though, I don't want to make excuses for Wilder, but to be fair, when someone hits you in the head, it's a different type of feeling. So maybe he did get hit harder, and he just probably just didn't realize it, or want to give Tyson Fury the satisfaction that he did hit a lot harder in that fight, and he don't want to just tell the media like, the motherfucker knocked the shit out of me. He don't really want to say that. He would rather say, you know what, he cheated. But then he doesn't have any proof of our distinguishing characteristics on how he cheated as far as punching power. You never heard him say that. Like you heard Miguel Cotto say, well, yeah, he punched really fucking hard. You know what I mean? And because he punched really hard, I don't believe that was 100% natural based on when he took the glove off. Okay? But the scary thing is when they find out and those punches are landing and affecting him the same way, I think that's when the shit will really get real. Okay? But Tyson Fury's made a statement, and I think it's time for Team Wilder to listen. He's going to do the same shit because the same shit worked, and it worked better than the first fight. So why not continue that? But I will leave you guys with this. Like his former trainer Ben Davison said, he won't have those opportunities if Wilder does anticipate him doing exactly what he says he's going to do. It's going to be far in between opportunities for that, because Wilder's going to be giving him, more dimensions in there, hopefully. But we'll see. Vamos a ver. So anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Tyson Fury saying that he's going to do the exact same thing to Deontay Wilder as the second fight. There will be no change in his strategy whatsoever. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.